Welcome back to your hour. I'm being joined again. This is a regular Friday session with Jamie Whitfield, who is my assistant, and also she's a recovering addict. And I hate to keep bringing that up, but that's one of the reasons she's here is to talk about that. And today she brought her son, Junior, with us, and he's going to be talking about the impact that his mother's addiction had on his life. And I really thank you, Jamie, for bringing him here, and I thank you for joining us today because this is a courageous topic for you two to tackle.
Yes, it is. I just feel like, I know for me, when I think about me being active in my addiction and what I did to my children, that just that one thought of, what if an addict's child would have spoke to me while I was still actively using? What impact would that have had on my life? Would that have changed my decisions I was making? Would that have made me realize how badly I was hurting my own children? Because I've said this before, in my active addiction, my kids weren't enough for me to stop, and it's hard to admit that to others, but it's the truth. And I've come to that, I have to be honest with myself and everyone else, to tell them that it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And they know that too, but they know as well that I found that help. I found what was enough, my rock bottom, and I came back to them.
So, Junior, can you tell me what kind of impact did your mother's addiction have on you?
It was hard because she was helping us a lot, and then she just had to leave.
So she just wasn't there a lot.
Yes.
That was probably tough to get used to too, because you were used to your mom played a huge role in your upbringing, and it probably was really strange not to have her there.
It was.
So, can you tell us what kinds of things did you find to do that kind of helped you get through it?
Talk to my grandma, my aunt Shanda.
Can you? I hate to ask you this, but can you speak up just a little bit? Because
Talk to my
this.
grandma. Talk to my aunt Shanda. Talk to my family.
And what else did you do?
Playing a game.
Just isolated yourself a little bit?
Yes.
So when you went to school, did you feel different from the other kids when
Yes.
you went? In what way?
Like they didn't have this feeling a lot, but then
A feeling of what?
feeling of their mom being not there.
So, what's your overall feeling or your overall attitude towards your mom's recovery? How do you feel about that?
Excited that she's coming back and doing her best.
Are you proud of her?
Yes, a lot.
Very cool. So, now at school, do you have a different feeling? Do you feel more like the other kids?
Yes.
Because you do have a parent, you do have a mom. Now, I understand in your circumstances, you were basically living with your grandma,
Yes.
and she was your parent basically during this time. And although you probably really appreciate having your grandma fill that void, it's still not the same, is it?
Yes, it's not the same.
So, have you learned, and I know this is the question that interests me a lot, have you learned to trust your mom again?
Yes, very much.
See, now that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Because you experienced what it was like to live basically without your mom when she was in the throes of her addiction. But to actually, you have how many days clean, Jamie?
240 today.
Very cool.
Thank you.
So in that amount of time, she's already managed to build the trust between you and her.
Yes.
Yes.
I know for me, like, like I used to tell them, oh, I'm on my way, or when it was time to pick them up for school or take them, that was things that I didn't do. My sister had to do it, or, sometimes, in the very beginning, like they weren't picked up, because I was too high to be able to do that. So, for a long time when I would tell them, I'm coming, I'm on my way, they, after
They
a
didn't
while
really
in my
believe you.
addiction,
Yeah.
they just stopped getting dressed.
Yeah.
They stopped waiting at the window for me to come, But now when I say I'm coming, they know I'm fashionably late, but
But you're still there.
yeah, they know I'm coming. They know when I say we're going to go do something, we do it, Just June 6th was his birthday, and it was the first year in 3 years that I was actually present,
Yeah.
Physically and emotionally, there's nothing like being high at family events, and just not really being there.
Right.
I
And
mean,
thinking that you're fooling everyone.
yeah, and you're not. Everybody knows when you're wide-eyed and can't settle down that you're high, but I used to think I could fool them, and they don't have to worry about that now, do you?
No, I don't.
And so when I tell them things, they trust me.
So how old are you now, Junior?
10,
10. Very cool. And what grade does that put you in?
5th.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, are you happy to have your mom back?
Yes, a lot.
And it really kind of changes the whole dynamic of your whole family. It changes the relationship between you and your siblings and your mom and your grandma. It just changes everything, doesn't it?
Yes.
For the best? Yeah.
Quit putting words in my mouth, Mom. Well, I really appreciate you joining us today, because I know this is not an easy thing to talk about to other people, and especially, on television. But I think that by doing this, you're really helping other families who might be going through something similar and might be able to glean a certain amount of hope and inspiration from this. So I really thank you for being here today.
Yes, I do too. I think it takes a lot for a 10-year-old to be able to come and speak about his mother.
Absolutely. Well, Jamie, Junior, thank you so much for joining us today. And the best of luck to both of you. And we'll be back with more Your Hour. Stay with us.